blemish on these games. An embarrassing episode involving one of Team USA's highest profile athletes, Ryan Lochte, and several teammates. Tonight, with the last of the 4 American swimmers finally back home, Lochte is opening up about the controversy in an exclusive interview with Matt Lauer. The 32-year-old calling his behavior that night immature and childish. Lochte says he takes full responsibility for his actions and for not telling the whole story from the start. Here's Matt Lauer.
You told me on the phone, Ryan, you said, we are victims here. We are victims, and we're happy that we're safe. In the police press conference, they said, not victims, they're vandals. How do you feel about that?
It's how you wanna make it look like. Whether you call it a robbery, whether you call it extortion, or us paying just for the damages. Like, we don't know. All we know is that there was a gun pointed in our direction, and we were demanding to give money.
Gunnar, in his statement to police, said at some point someone who spoke English walked over and offered to help translate this altercation. And he made it clear that this security guard was telling the 4 of you, you need to pay for that stuff, that damage, before you can leave here, or I'm going to call the police. You understood that at that time, didn't you?
Yeah, so then we had to give the money.
At that point, you're striking a deal. You're striking a deal to pay for what damage you've caused so that he doesn't call the police and this doesn't become a bigger incident. Isn't that fair?
We just wanted to get out of there. We were held, I mean, there was a gun pointed in our direction. We were all frightened. And we wanted to get out of there as quick as possible. And the only way we knew is this guy saying, you have to give him money. So we gave him money and we got out.
What I'm trying to get at is the first version of the story you told, Ryan, was much more about the mean streets of Rio.
Yeah.
And the version we're hearing now is much more about a negotiated settlement to cover up some dumb behavior.
And that's why I'm taking full responsibility for it, is because I over-exaggerated that story. And if I never done that, we wouldn't be in this mess. Those guys would never be in Rio, or were in Rio. None of this would have happened, and it was my immature behavior.
Part of Matt Lauer's exclusive conversation with Ryan Lochte. You can see more of